Marana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. In all the international fun, I forgot to actually do an end-of-season review. But this should be quite a quick end-of-season review, because actually a lot of it's pretty straightforward. I've actually got to the point where it's reset for next season, so I'll just have to go back and have a look at some of the stats and whatnot. But generally, so I'll go through the leagues first, but generally it's fairly straightforward. So if we look at last season, we won. We know this. Only by 2 points in the end, but we had a fairly kind of commanding lead at various... Well, not commanding lead, but we were never that far away from first once we got past that little bump at the beginning. Once we got that tactic working, and it worked, we did pretty well. So we had 91 goals scored for us in the end, put 11 past Papite, 10 against Mauti, 10 against AS Chance, who are in second place. 35 against, so it's not the best defence in the league. We're actually reasonably kind of ropey in that sense. So it puts us all the way down. Let's do the other way around. So it puts us down here, really. So a lot of teams with a better defence than us in the end, but we made it. Yanin, picking up player of the season, top goal scorer, and so on. Getting clean sheet records broken for Ahmed Smith, our keeper, and assists for Moses Dalloway, our left winger. I'll go through the team in a second or two, but we did well. AS Chance got second, Tetero, Bora Bora, Huahin, Taha, Moria, all relatively strong sides, all had some kind of success, or beginning close to success, filling it up. So we're starting to get kind of tiering almost. So down here, Papite had to overcome, in the past season or two, that kind of point docking, but they've done alright. They've not dropped out of existence. Manue, Skybrights, Uapoa, Motuon, Mopi are all kind of the, I don't want to say also-rans, but they're making up the numbers at the moment. They're the bottom kind of tier. Mauti, a bit of a yo-yo club now, being relegated, as have Mayao, and they, to be honest, they both deserve to be relegated, even though Mauti had to play in the relegation playoff. 11 points. They deserve to go down. Going into the championship, the last year, the Corallers won the title by points, just pipping the Terrors to it, and Terrors got promoted anyway, which is interesting because Terrors and the Corallers are sides we could potentially take over. But the Feral Cats, Puka Puka, they are still in the championship. And then all the way down here you've got Isla Magdalena, who have been relegated. And last year, Moutons also had a point deduction, but they managed to stay safe. In the Gold Developmental League, our under-23s won by 9 points. Tuamotun Exiles got promoted by virtue of being the highest placed senior full side. If we go further down, we've still got Shellfish, Chevres, Naruto, Lagunas, Vines, Turtengegi all still playing in this league system. And then Isla Magdalena under 23s got relegated, as did AR Mouton. So Isla Magdalena under 23s got relegated, I think, because Isla Magdalena got relegated, or have been relegated, into the development goals. It's pushed them down one. And then in the silver, too far. There we go. The Skybrights won it. And that's it, there's no senior sides left there anymore. So, there we go with the kind of leagues. The Inter-Island Cup was won by, us, 3-0, against Taha. Super Cup was won by us as well, we're in the Super Cup again. The Windward Pride Trophy was won by Moria, I believe. So just me clicking all the wrong things, I'm an idiot. So yeah, they beat Papite. The Leeward was won... what am I doing? My mouse is going crazy. By Taha on penalties against the Eels, a bit more competitive. We won the Mutineer Pride last year against Puka Puka. 5-2. Marquesas Pride Shield was won by Uahuka Chevres, which I think was a bit of a change from the past. The past winners usually been Uapoa. Nukuhiva creeping in once. Shield of Pride we won against Taha, and the Under-23 Youth Cup our Under-23s won. So actually it wasn't the sextuplet we won, there was septuplet if you include the Under-23s, octuplet if you include their title, which we won't do because we're not Man City, we're not just going to pile on any competition we've won. So there we go in the kind of league system, and again you're getting this kind of tiering. I'm looking forward to seeing how the Coralers and the Terrors do in the Premiership this coming season. That could be quite interesting. In terms of things like reputation, where is it? Somewhere down here. Our stature. Yeah, look at the rankings. So in all of Oceania, we're the second highest ranked team for reputation. Only Auckland are better than us, not by much. The next highest Tahitian or Polynesian team is Taha, followed by Huahine, then Bora Bora, then Moria. It's AS Chance all the way down there. So our stature's improved quite a bit, and that means we've got more sponsorship. Not a huge amount, but a bit more coming in. If we look at our squad as well, generally a pretty good squad. Ahmed Smith, his attributes don't look amazing. If anything, Adam Henderson looks like he might eventually, well, isn't going to be better, but he might eventually compete with him. McIntyre, we've had for a while now. He's been really good. Again, his attributes don't look amazing in terms of technical, but he does the job. We brought in Zoran Florajanic, who should be good. Got Sasha Hook last season, who was a good kind of missing piece. Phil Lamb, again, kind of a mainstay. He's not particularly well rated, but he's been doing the job, and internationally he's getting the kind of recognition. Makasina as well. Bassian, 39 caps. He's adding that bit of kind of senior experience. McCormack did really well. In fact, he did so well he got inducted into our overall best 11. Not the best 11 for the season, but the overall. He had such a good season, he went straight in, which was a bit weird, but he is good. Seth Waite did okay, but 28, he's getting on a little bit in terms of the rest of the players, but he still does the job, and he's very good from the set pieces. Moses Dallowin got a record amount of assists, and he looks good. He played well internationally as well for Tahiti, valued at 165,000. I got a news item saying are we worried that he might disappear because he's got a release clause of 120,000. I think there are teams who would pay that for him. I think there are teams now in the league that would spend 120,000. There was a few who were trying to get Jan in and so on in the past window, who were offering almost that. So I reckon there's the money there for people to buy him. Because we're so reputable, I think he'll stay with us. Paul Pons did really well. Sort of Ginger Ninja on the right wing. He thinks he's better than us and doesn't want to play for us. So we'll see whether he stays with us. We're going to keep trying to offer him a contract, but he's just refusing to talk terms because he thinks he's too good. Spearling did alright. And again, his kind of ratings going down lower and lower as the rest of the team gets better and better. But he was one of our kind of golden generation picks, and he got a couple of goals, a couple of assists. Johan Andre had an amazing season. He's really well rated. He looks really good. 170,000 he's worth now, apparently. He's only 17, so he's going to be sticking around for years to come. Beauvalet was a good backup. Not worth a great deal. Didn't get picked for the international teams. He wasn't playing as regularly as he had been in the past, but he's good. Paul Manuel's got potential as well in the left wing. Not worth as much as he was, but he is a former OCL winner before he even played this season for us because he went out on loan. Semi Gerard, attributes wise, he doesn't look like the best player out there, but he's 6'5" and he scores for fun. Last season he got 26 league goals in 27 appearances, so just league goals alone. He's got 89 league goals in 136 appearances, not counting anything else. He had 36 in 46 appearances across all competitions. 21 the season before that, 23 the season before that, 24, 33. The only season where he's had less than 20 goals overall is when he was playing for AS Chance that very first season. So he's good. We like Gerard. Then we've got Yannick Janin, who looks a bit better attributes-wise. He's generally amazing. He's only 5'10" there. It's not perfect. And again, last season he got 54 goals in all competitions. In 40 appearances, he got 54 goals. 25 in the league. 28, 33, 19, 90 goals in 124 for league goals is decent. I've got Tawangara, who scored that winner in our very first title win in the very last game of the season. Not last season, but the season before. Attributes-wise, he doesn't look amazing, but he's 6'6", and he kind of reminds me of Peter Crouch. Just a cooler version of Peter Crouch, which is difficult. It's difficult to be that cool. And Luca Barr was a Marquesan player we've got. He didn't play that much for us, I think. Look at what he did last year. He only made 4 league appearances for us, but we were getting back to fitness. And then we've got O'Keefe as well. Again, attributes-wise, doesn't look like he's amazing, but he's done alright for us, but actually he's not got that many. But he's a kind of bit part player. And basically this squad's fine. There's nothing I'm going to do to change this squad because I'm not planning on being here much beyond the halfway point of this season. What I will do is I'm going to try and sign everyone to contracts. Because I'm not going to try and pick the bones of the squad when I leave. Or if I am, I want to pick it properly and pay the right amount and go through the right kind of things. And I'll try and set them up so they stay strong, so the quality of the league can improve. So I'm going to try and keep a few of these players as best I can. So what I've got planned is, I don't know if it's scheduled yet, I've got the Super Cup coming up. We will come back for the Super Cup. And then I think sometime around November is when the World Cup Championship normally takes place. So I'll come back, I'll play a few games. I'm not going to leave the squad just yet because I want to get an extra piece of silverware in the Super Cup. But I also want to see how we do in the World Cup Championship, so that'll be a bit special the first time playing in there. But then we'll leave this kind of legacy with the Humpbacks and try and build something new with one of the other squads. Heathrow are a bit tempting, but it's just not the right time. In terms of trying to get anyone else in to improve the squad, it all really depends on Pons. If Pons stays, I'm not making any signings. If Pons leaves, I'm going to have to try and replace him with someone just for the kind of squad depth. Now, I don't think, looking at the under 23s, there's anyone who's jumping out. So there's Tom Tobin, nothing special. Tom McCallum, it's okay. Jamie Routledge could be alright, but he's not done well away on loan. Shane Hayes, maybe, but he's Hall, maybe. Neil Saba, maybe. Jared Lane, no. And I think I could put them in the first team squad as well. We've got Cameron Bell. So Cameron Bell would actually probably get the nod, but they're not as good as Pons. Pons had a really good season. I kind of wanted to stay because I don't understand where he thinks he's going to go that's better than us, considering... See, look, he's currently unhappy. Why is he unhappy? Wants to move to a bigger club. He would have to leave Polynesia to get to a bigger club now. Supportive in general, but not to the same extent as the rest of the squad. Yeah, he'd have to leave and go to New Zealand, basically. He wants a bigger club in sort of Oceania, and by a bigger club in Oceania, it would just be Auckland. That's the only other team available. I don't think they're coming in for him. I don't think anyone's interested. Yeah, no one's interested. So it'd be sad to see him go. I don't know what we can do to kind of stop that. So I'll end there. It's a quick season review, because obviously there's less plans going on for this one, and I don't need to worry too much about waiting for the kind of transfers to come in to show you all of those and things like that, because there's probably not going to be any, hopefully. If it is, it's just going to be one player, it's not going to be anything special. So thanks very much for watching. As always, I really appreciate the support on the series. Some of you have been commenting as you've gone along. Really appreciate that. It's nice to see that you've been enjoying it. If you've got anything you want to add in terms of extra stuff you'd like to see, things you want me to spend more time on, things you want me to cover, just let me know. If you've got any ideas about where to go next or how to manage that kind of transition from one club to the next, let me know as well, or follow me on Twitter and do the same there. Some of you have been retweeting and leaving likes and stuff, which is really nice. I appreciate that. But just the fact he's taking your time to watch this is really appreciated, because it is kind of niche. It is a bit odd in comparison to some other saves that are out there. But I appreciate it. Thanks very much. And one of the things I'm also going to add just before I go is, for the new team, I might be trying to take a different tack. So I might look more at the training or the coaching. I might look at not quite Moneyball, but more kind of statistical stuff, and trying to improve the team as well. If you're interested in Moneyball, if you go onto the Dictate the Game website, there's a couple of articles on Moneyball by someone called FM Vars. They're really good take on Moneyball in Football Manager, which is actually quite difficult to do. And yeah, thanks very much. I will see you later.